Hello YouTubers, I am doing a video about online dating. Okay? Now let's start with what is online dating, because not many people know what online dating is. Okay, so online dating is when you put a profile of yourself on different dating websites. There are like tons to pick from out there. I mean, literally tons. Okay, it's just a matter of which one suits your needs. Like you could have a Jewish dating site, you could have a Christian dating site, you could have an LDS dating site, you could have just a regular one, you could go on Plenty of Fish. There's tons. There's OkCupid. There's a lot more out there. Really, there are. It's just a matter of finding what you like. Okay? So online dating is you're putting your profile there and you're swiping through other people's profiles. So if you're a man looking for a woman, then you're swiping through women's profiles and you pick where you want it to be. Like you pick your location if you want, or you could pick somewhere else. And so you do that and you swipe through profiles, you read their profiles, you see if they're a match, and you send a message and they'll see if you're a match too. And sometimes you'll find people, they are matches with you, but they don't really talk to you. Or you'll find out that people are not your match, but they'll still talk to you and say, look, I'm sorry that we're not a match. But it's mostly that you're just putting your profile and you're talking to people and you're trying to meet people to go on dates. Okay, so then you don't really have to be out in the real world, as in outside, like trying to talk to people. It's more or less you're doing it over communication, over like your internet, and then you can exchange numbers to text, or you can use different texting apps because you really don't want to give out your number right now because you don't know the person at all. It's like you're meeting a stranger for the first time. Okay, now what makes online dating difficult? Well, there's different reasons. One is that you might not find anybody. It's possible. I've done it. I've gone for months and months and months where I've never found anybody. No one would message me. No one would talk to me. No one would even show an interest. Okay? Then on top of it, it's difficult because some people want upgraded users, as it goes, where they pay monthly, but they don't pay for it themselves monthly. Like there was a girl who I saw that looked very interesting, but the problem was that she wanted upgrade users. I'm not an upgrade user and neither is she. So it makes no sense that she would want upgrade users when not many people are going to pay for being an upgraded user. And if you heard that fall, that was something that dropped off my mom's desk. So it's hard because you want to be able to talk to people without having to pay for dating. Because why should we pay for dating? I mean, really. I mean, I understand when you get a date, you pay for the date and you kind of splurge on the money. But to find a girl, I don't think you really need to pay for it. It shouldn't be like that. And so what else makes it difficult is that you could be sending messages and no one replies to them. And I mean, I've done that. I've sent hundreds of different messages out there to try to attract women to kind of like be like, yeah, that sounds interesting to me. But sometimes it doesn't work. Or sometimes your profile is not what they're looking for at all. Like it could be the wording that you're putting there, or it could be that you're not expressing yourself in a good way, that you could be making like, well, you're limiting yourself to what your full potential. Okay? If you're honest about yourself, then someone will like you. It's guaranteed. Now, what makes online dating easy? Well, the first big one. You don't have to go and talk to a girl or a guy. Okay? You literally don't have to. You don't have to go up to her or up to him and say, hey, I'm interested in you, let's talk or whatever, or let's go on a date. No, you don't have to do that because then you don't feel rejected if they say, oh, whoa, like, sorry, no, I'm not interested, because they might be looking at just your appearance on the outside instead of looking inside. So it makes it difficult. It makes it really difficult. Okay? Because really it is. It is difficult. Okay, but I mean, it makes it easier so you can just send a message and they'll reply back and you talk for a good few months. And then you say, okay, let's exchange numbers, let's text, or you do it right off the bat where it's been like a week or two and you say, hey, let's text message because it's easier for me because I don't have a bunch of internet on my phone and I don't want to use my data up, so it's easier just to send messages. Okay, that's perfectly fine. People do that all the time. It's perfectly normal. Okay, so that makes it easier to be able to communicate, and then it's easier to ask him or her on a date because face-to-face is just difficult. Okay, and so I mean, everyone is different on this subject of what goes on, but you know, everyone wonders, why am I on it? I mean, well, it's clear as simple. I'm shy. I have a hard time talking to women. It's pure simple. There's guys out there who have a hard time talking to women. There are girls who have a hard time talking to men. I mean, it happens. It happens. We get shy in the beginning because there's a lot of people on these profiles that say, you know, I'm shy in the beginning, but once you get to know me, then I come out of my shell and you will have a great time with me, as in we'll talk and you'll get to know me better because I'm not so scared of you or I'm not so shy. It happens. It really does happen. I've seen it happen all the time, and I mean, that's why people are on it. Or sometimes they're just on it because they can't find anybody in the real world. So they go to online dating. Okay? But I'm on it because literally where I live, I can't find anybody because I live in Quebec where it's French mostly, and that makes it very difficult because if I limit myself and say, hey, I'm looking for this type of girl that I'm not really looking for, but just because I can't get someone in my religion as I'm looking for, okay, it's just easier to say, you know what, like, sometimes it's just easier to say, you know what, I'll go with someone that's not in my religion because it's easier because there's more choices. But you know what? Really, when you limit yourself, you're not really getting what you really want. So I look for a girl in Utah. Now, the reason for this is that I know I'm supposed to be there. That's just the sheer fact of it. Okay? I know without a doubt, I know with every fiber in my body that I'm supposed to be there. 100%. No one's going to stop me to say, well, you shouldn't be there because you can't get there unless you marry someone. And it's like, yeah, that's true. I can only get there if I marry someone, but I know I'm supposed to be there. One way or another, I'm going to get there no matter what. It's going to happen. Okay? So I look in Utah for LDS girls because the reason for this is they're my same religion. I want the same values. I want the same everything. I don't want to be like, well, you drink, you smoke, and it's like, well, I don't do that. And then they try to say, well, you know, well, they say, well, you should try smoking, you should try drinking. And it's like, no, I really don't want that. It's just simple. I want someone the same values as me, the same, who goes to church every Sunday, who does the same things I do. And I'm not saying like they're going to do the same thing as in exactly like me, but I mean goes to church as they're supposed to and follow the right rules and does what they have to do to make it a better life for themselves. And so, you know, that's what I want. So online dating can be difficult, it can be easy, it all depends on the people. Because there's some people that care, some people that don't care, some people are just looking for random flings, one-night stands. It happens. So it all depends. But, you know, it is better for me to be on it because I don't live in Utah right now. But if I did, it would be a little bit easier to maybe go out and find people. But I'd still be on there because I got a better chance of finding people who are on there than just limiting myself to people who are in the real world, as in like outside and everything. But you know, that's just how it is. But you know what, if you enjoyed this video, please comment, share my video because it might help someone else. Who knows?